saw you on The View.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's been overwhelming my past couple days.
Yeah. Is that annoying?
No.
No.
I mean, it's just when I was on there, I really had no idea how it was going to land with the audience. So I just went in there, did my thing. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't know who Sunny Hostin was. I actually still really don't know. So I wasn't expecting necessarily for her to kind of try to ambush me in that way and attack my character in that way.
All right, Coleman, like, let's not even front, because we know that, this is also good for publicity. Like, I always remember the old saying, there's no such thing as bad publicity. It's all publicity is good publicity. And this is even better publicity because you look like the hero in this situation, right? And, Sunny definitely played herself. Like, I really enjoyed watching her take both feet and shoving it way down her throat, whether she realizes it or not. And she does. She absolutely played herself. And I think that was a very good thing. So, but this is Joe Rogan talking about it. And yeah, I just want to hear more of Joe Rogan's part on the situation, like how he feels about it. So why don't we just go ahead and get into that part?
And I responded to it in the moment, as I do. And I didn't expect it to go as viral as it did, but I think it arguably went more viral than anything I've ever done. It's hard for me to totally tell, but I've just got people messaging me almost nonstop for like 4 days afterwards.
Well, it is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
He is so right about that. But don't, say like it is the show that people love to hate. They make it, all right, nobody hates anybody, right? But they make it easy to despise them on the show. They are so miserable.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies infested hen house.
and
I'm hollering. Wow. I usually call them the hens, but rabies infested, I did not even expect him to say that. Number one. Number two, you know what? Now it makes sense when I'm like, yo, how's this show even still on? They know what they're saying and what they're doing. And yeah, there are people watching it and the clips do go viral. So they are bringing in some sort of revenue even that way. So I guess it makes sense that it's still on.
And at the same time, it seemed like the most interesting part was their audience seemed to be on my side.
Yes. Yes.
And that's their audience.
Yes. Well, their audience is not really their audience. Their audience is a group of people they bring in to watch television shows. I don't know if you've ever seen audiences before for
If you guys like these videos that I've been making, please don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. We just want to talk about everything in a balanced manner, and I've been enjoying making these videos. Thank you.
TV shows, but a lot of them are paid. They're paid to be there. So because they have to guarantee that there's going to be people there. So there's services that you hire. And when the show gets really, really popular, like Letterman or something like that, obviously it has its own fan base.
Right.
Those people will try to get tickets before anybody else does. And in that case, they probably don't need to use a service anymore. They just get actual fans. But arguably, like the real fans of The View that are like, oh, these ladies are on point. Most of those people can't leave the house. Like,
you know what? I didn't even think about that. Yo, that's why. Because we were always like, they clap like seals. Can you imagine? I really think that The View he's right. Like, I don't have paperwork to prove it, but their audience must be on a payroll. Wow. I know that for a regular sitcom, but I never thought about that for a talk show. And then especially when it's been out so long. The View's been out for so long. It should have elevated itself in the conversation. And it didn't have to become some right-wing show. Like, no, but it's not balanced. It's not balanced in this instance. It just simply isn't. And, it's a shame that they more than likely are using a service. Wow.
Probably immobile.
Right. Because their mom's taking their kids to school, and that's
It's a very strange show, but it's fun to watch. It's just fun to watch them.
It's good entertainment.
Yeah,
undoubtedly.
Well, they're just it's interesting because I think Sunny is very intelligent, but she's ideologically captured.
Right.
It's
ideologically captured is a nice word. I think Joe Rogan is being nice to these women because to me, Sunny Hostin is not just ideologically captured. I think Sunny Hostins is straight up and down, just a miserable woman. I think even with all the money, because money doesn't buy happiness. Happiness is, of course, a state of being. I got that from somebody I know. But it does not buy happiness. Like it just doesn't. So I just feel like she's just really miserable. And like I said, I think Joe Rogan is actually being very, very nice to Sunny Hostins and the ladies, even though he did call them rabies infested hens. Lord.
So I think the other ones there's a couple of the other ones don't have to name any names. Who are just very dull minded. But I think Sunny's not one of them. I think she's smart but captured.
Sure, I think.
So then that makes her not smart to me. You know what I mean? Like, how does that make her smart? You have to be smart enough to distill between the emotions and the facts. There are facts, yo. Literally, I just came off a Twitter space talking about this, right? That facts, facts don't care about your feelings. Now, there's a way to give the facts where maybe less feelings will be hurt, but facts are simply facts. There are certain facts that I have to deal with when I hear them. Blacks commit a lot of crimes. What can I do? Get upset about it? No. We could just get some law and order back in the system and put criminals in jail no matter what they look like, right? So again, if we're smart enough to retain information, we have to be able to be smart enough to assess information and remove our emotions when the time calls for it.
I think she came into it with an agenda.
Of course, they do everything with an agenda.
Yeah, she came into it. It seems really wanting to paint me as someone that has been co-opted by the right wing.
Yeah,
and I don't know how much research she had done into me. She claimed to have read my book twice, which is almost certainly not true.
Yeah,
because she was totally.
Yeah, I don't think that she read the book twice. Everybody knows like that. Everybody, once they heard like that, because I had made my first initial video, I was like, she ain't read that book twice. Jimmy Dore, everybody is questioning if she read the book twice. And then these two are basically like, she didn't read the book twice. She definitely came in with the agenda. This is what, look, I'm going to give you guys an insight. And I don't want to make this too about like, oh, the black look on this conversation. Like, no. But, I have a little insight, right? So I'm going to keep it real. Sunny Hostins is all about the approved narrative for black people. In order to be black, you have to be a certain way. You have to fight the cause, fight the power, fight the man. And what man? What power? I'm trying to fight for my visions, my goals. And maybe those goals, they involve me not being angry at people that I shouldn't be angry at. They involve me working with Americans, right? So when you are a black person who realizes that I don't need to lean on anybody or keep constantly with this thought of somebody owes me something, no matter how, whatever, right? But when you stand on your own 2 feet, Sunny, she can't argue for you. So she doesn't feel like you are worth it to her. In fact, she looks at you as an enemy because you remove her shine. Remember, like I see people commenting, she owned slaves. I mean, all right, not she, but her family, apparently were slave owners. So Sunny really feels this is a whole, man, I could do a whole nother channel on the psychology of borderline personality disorder in the black race, in the mixed race, in the light-skinned black race. I mean, it is bad. It is bad. So, and the reason why it goes again back to this kind of racial talk is because Sunny, came at him in that way. It is because we're talking about a black woman, quote, black woman, who tried to eat this black man alive simply because he didn't think the approved narrative.
Missummarizing.
When did the book come out?
February.
The odds are very low.
Very low, right? Because
very low.
Think of how many guests they have on their show,
how much time
she has,
family obligations. What is it, about 250 pages?
Something like that. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I mean, I might be wrong. I mean, do you have an audiobook available?
I do. Yeah, I read it myself.
Maybe she did it at double speed.
Yeah.
Twice.
So I sounded like Ben Shapiro the whole time.
It's actually kind of funny. But that's actually kind of funny. But yeah, maybe that's what she did. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, right? Look, I'm not going to deny the fact that Sunny Hostins is a smart woman. She is a very smart woman, right? She's worked hard to get to where she's at. I can't take any of that away from her. But the problem is that she wants to cage people up so that she could save them out of the same cages that she placed them in. Get out of here, woman. People want to make their own decisions, and they simply just want to live as Americans.